Hello and welcome to the C12 Mid-Atlantic podcast on business ministry. Today, we're talking with Jim Holland from Grover Gaming in Greenville. I'm Skip Carney, C12 member since 2012. How long have you been a member of C12?
I'm not sure how long Garrett has been a member. I believe it's been about 5 years now.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys hit the ground running with ministry.
Right.
Okay, before we get into that, tell me about Grover Gaming. Where are you? How many employees you have? And what do you do?
Okay, so we are, our headquarters is in Greenville, North Carolina. We're a software development company, and we develop games for charitable gaming. And we, like I said, we're headquarters in Greenville, but we have locations all throughout the United States.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
How far west?
How far west? We're in, let's see, Illinois now? Yeah.
And how many employees are there?
Employees, we have about 420 right now.
Okay. The company is how old?
Company is from about 20 years old.
Okay. And so let's talk a little bit about your ministry. Mm-hmm. You're actively involved in that. That's a major part of your personal job, correct?
It is my personal job.
It is your job. And are there more of you in the company that are actively involved in ministry?
There's three of us overseeing the ministry.
Okay.
And so I guess we'll get into that.
That's right.
Yeah.
So let's go back to the beginning. Maybe we should start with generally, what is your philosophy about ministry? What do you do? What is it you do? You and those other two guys do during the day and for your folks?
Yeah, we whatever we do, we're very intentional with the people and loving on the people and showing them God's love, and we do that. I think our job, our mission, is to impact our company's culture through 5 pillars of health.
Okay,
and to show in those interactions and in those conversations, those relationships, show people God's love.
So impact our company culture. That's the mission statement, basically. I'm interpreting that. Your mission statement for
our department.
For your ministry.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so impacting culture is not a simple thing to do because you've got people coming from all walks of life and all different kinds of philosophies and all kinds of backgrounds.
Right.
So there's interesting challenges there. To impact their culture, what do you mean? You want to impact it in what direction? Yeah.
We want to leave people feeling valued, feeling loved and valued, and basically seeing God through our actions and through our words and what we do.
Okay, cool. So that's your big picture goal.
Yeah.
And your 5 pillars that you referred to.
5 pillars. So we steward our people in 5 pillars of health: spiritual health, mental health, physical health, relational health, and financial health.
Wow. This is a serious program.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's take them one at a time.
Okay.
I guess maybe we start with spiritual health.
Yeah, absolutely. We have a team of there must be close to 40 people on that team right now of volunteers who come together every week to hear a message and hear God's word. John, he's a pastor at Open Door in Greenville or Winterville. And he shares a message every week there, and they also lead our outreach programs too in the community.
These 40 folks you're talking about,
mm-hmm.
You say they're volunteers. They work for the company, but they volunteer their time to be a part of the ministry.
Yeah, to be a part of the ministry, and
okay.
Because 3 guys in Greenville can't do all the work for 420 employees scattered across the United States. So.
Okay, so what do they do out there all over the country to touch your folks, to lead them down their spiritual path?
Right. Well, they're basically our ambassadors of care. Our department is called Care Department. So if you hear me say it, that's who we are. They're kind of our ambassadors. So they'll go out there and if there's anybody needing help, they know resources in that area for them. We provide them with those resources. They'll kick them back to John or myself. They'll pray for those people. If they need any help in their spiritual journey and their walk with the Lord, then we will provide them with that.
So how are they identified within the company? How do folks know that that's where they can go?
We have them on our teams, and they're on our teams for a purpose. So, we're just not going to have anybody come up and say, "Oh, I just want to be part of the physical health team." I don't want anybody on the physical health team who does not, passionate about physical health. So, we leave it up to our employees if you like to join the team, it's something you're passionate about. We don't want to be a check in the box type thing, but something they're passionate about.
Ah, okay. So you got 40 people involved in your spiritual pillar. What's next? Physical?
Mental.
Mental?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, you have, and again, we have people to the Midwest and then all the way down in Georgia that are on our mental health team, and we steward the mental health and well-being of our employees. So talking about mental health issues, kind of breaking down that stigma, what we can do to help people, during the holidays, we talk a lot about like grief and loss. A lot of times we talk about seasonal depression. We talk about things that are affecting our people. And if you need resources, we guide them to those as well.
So a lot of times I'm thinking that folks that have mental challenges, and it's not, we talked earlier, it can, stress is part of your mental health, affects your mental health. You don't see those things. They're hidden. It's like the duck above the water and everything's calm, and underneath it's going like crazy. So how do you break through that so that you get to the point where you can help them?
I think that's just relationship and trust. The more time you spend with the people, they begin to trust you, and they're seeing, hey, you're just not a flash in the pan. You're here for it. You're here to love on me. You're here to grow me. You're here for me in my good days and my bad days.
Yeah.
So I think that just takes time and relationship.
So is things, let's go through the rest of the pillars then.
Okay.
So number 3.
Number 3 is going to be physical health.
Okay.
Yep. So, again, wherever you are on your physical journey, if you were just sitting on the couch and you want to start walking, or if you want to start eating better, we're here to help you with that journey. If you want to join a gym, we look for gyms in your areas. We have nutritional guidance for people as well, wherever they are in their journey.
So I mean, do you go to the point of saying, okay, here's where you are, here's your goal, here's your plan to get there? Mm-hmm.
We have some guidance in there. We're not giving them advice, I guess, but we're guiding them in the right direction. Now, if they need more specific training, we'll put them in touch with the right people.
Okay, so that's physical. Mm-hmm. We covered spiritual and mental. Mm-hmm. Number 4,
relational. Yeah.
Is this how they relate to each other, to their coworkers, their family, everybody?
All the above. So, what healthy relationships look like, what boundaries look like, what communication looks like. And, that can be with my manager and myself. That can be with my wife. That can be with my kids. We've talked to individuals that needed help in that area in several different ways.
So they come to you and say, my wife's driving me crazy, or I'm driving her crazy.
Right.
and that's driving me crazy.
Right.
And then we use counseling, coaching.
We do a lot of coaching and guiding on that. And depending on where they are and where they want to go, we can refer them out to more specific services. But, relationship is something Garrett, or the owner, is really big on. In fact, they're doing a marriage and couples kind of not retreat, but a conference in May.
Yeah.
So he's really pouring into our people in that sense too, the couples and the married couples, because he's seen how much of an impact that's had on his own life, that he wants to do it to others. It's great. I tell everybody, it's kind of, we're a unicorn because I've never seen this anywhere else where, they want to take care and steward God's children, so well.
Yeah, and you mentioned earlier that you've seen some marriages saved.
Yeah.
Within your company, is it? That's pretty powerful.
Yeah, so we're talking about the fruits earlier. The fruits of what we do. Some things we see, some things we don't see. But we have seen marriages saved. We have seen people come to know Christ. We have seen baptisms. So it's just, there's been some really good, impactful stories that come.
Cool. Well, I want to hear some more of those.
Yeah.
But let's see, we've got pillar number 5.
Financial. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Nobody likes talking about that.
There's no stress there.
Yeah. But, no matter where you are in life, we have I would say a majority of a younger population that works with us. So helping them understand 401ks, helping them understand budgeting, helping them understand investing, or even just creating an emergency account, and how those principles, when applied, they can really help you out.
That's cool. And a lot of C12 members have an emergency fund for their employees. Do you do that kind of thing?
We help. We do help people out of financial crisis if they're there. But I think the biggest piece of that is the time we put into it. After that is we work with them. So hey, how'd you get here? And if you run into this again, how can you get out?
Yeah.
And I think that's the most rewarding, most important piece that we do.
So that reminds me of the Dream Manager book. Have you read that? Are you familiar with that?
I'm familiar with it, yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like you're implementing some of that kind of thing where you're looking at what, or do you get into your employees' goals and dreams and try to help them achieve those? Because a lot of what you were talking about is more remediation, I think, and helping solve a current problem. But do you take it to that other level and say, okay, Jim, what's your big dream that you're...
Absolutely, especially in the financial pillar is, people say, oh, I want to buy a house. I'm tired of renting. I want to take my kids on a vacation. Well, how do we do that without breaking the bank? And, how do we do that? Yeah, run up the credit cards. So, yeah, we do offer that. We have a financial coach there on site that helps individuals with that in the process.
So this 5 pillars, these sound amazing, but that didn't just happen overnight.
No.
You didn't wake up one day and say, hey, here's 5 things we can start tomorrow.
Right.
So how did you get started? Because I think a lot of C12 members or any business would go, okay, it's a neat idea, but where do I begin?
Yeah.
Yeah. So how did you start?
The whole care department started with Garrett. He has extreme big place in his heart for people. And then I think he kind of got to the point where, hey, I love these people. I got to help run this business too. So he hired John Conway, my pastor at church, and John came in. He was working for his father at the time, and John started developing this. And I'm sure it was through a lot of prayer that came. How can we take care of people? And so we look at people as a whole, just not one aspect.
Right.
It's just not. We want to help them financially. We want to help you grow in all the areas of your life. And those are what we feel like, target most people.
Yeah. So did it start with just bringing in your pastor and say, here's a resource, here's a guy that can help you if you got challenges? Or?
Oh, no. I mean, yeah, it was a process, building a network of things, building a network of people that could help us out in those areas. Yeah.
Yeah. And I imagine that's not inexpensive. There's some financial commitment. Obviously, you've got several of you that this is your primary job, so that's a commitment.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean that you're right. Garrett has hired 3 of us to do that, to take care of his people. So there is a financial commitment there.
But he's also a businessman, and you are a business, and so you don't invest in things unless you expect a return of some sort.
That's right.
So let's talk about the fruits that you see from this work.
Right. So we have 3 KPIs that we work on. So we work on our pillars, our people, and our outreach. So some of those fruits I was sharing with you earlier, in the first quarter of this year, 2024, we have had 57 total prayer requests. In a company that, like you said, was roughly 425 people. And that's averaging about 19 prayer requests a month. I just think that's outstanding, working in that company.
Well, and if your company represents this, is representative of America, I guess, probably way less than half of those people go to church. Of the 420 go to church.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah,
probably. Yeah. So getting prayer requests, odds are you're getting prayer requests from people that don't go to church as well as people that do. So
sure,
there's you've made a connection.
Right. Right.
And I think that's the start, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, if there's they're asking for help, then your answer starts to point them in the right direction.
Right. Yeah. We've actually had people that tell us, say, well, I don't know if this prayer thing really works, but I would like to put in a prayer request. And I say, well, the one we pray for really works. So, you know, we'll leave it in his hands. For sure.
Yeah. So, did you say you had some baptisms as well?
We did have some baptisms. We had some baptisms on our leadership team. So that, I think that was an excellent decision they made.
They celebrated that with the company?
I think they did celebrate that with the company.
That's pretty powerful.
That is powerful.
Yeah, because if it doesn't start at the top, it doesn't go very far.
Yeah, you're right. And, you know, the decisions, the leaders make at the top, they trickle down. And I think that's one of the best decisions they could make. So it's going to be interesting to see the fruits of that trickle down.
Yeah. So I would think that if you're pouring into your people the way you're talking about, that there has to be, it has to make you a little more sticky in terms of they don't want to leave, you know, that your people stick around longer than the average. Is that true? Do you see some results like that?
I think we're starting to see some of the benefits. And some of the people that have moved on, we've talked to them throughout their process of offboarding, and, you know, our department was one of the reasons they wanted to stay on. You know, it's something that motivated them and that they felt valued as an employee. So,
yeah, and I imagine you have people come back every now and then because, and you know, of course, people leave because oftentimes they have no control over that. Their spouse gets a job in another town, and that's where they're going to be.
Sure.
Yeah, but any other benefits that you're seeing as a result of this? I mean, you're personally involved in this every day.
Yeah. Yeah. So I was telling you to share a couple other numbers with you. I think we had 73 care requests. So 73 people that requested help in those 5 pillars.
Okay.
Last quarter. So that's averaging.
That's 25 a month.
25 a month.
Yeah.
We did 230 one-on-ones. So us meeting with an individual one-on-one about one of those 5 pillars of health.
The 3 of you split up through 230 people. That's busy.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it's busy.
And that, well, if you have a request for help, that's not a one and done kind of a meeting, is it? Or a solution.
No. It is the follow up. You know, it's stewarding that request when it comes in. You know, we're just not going to say, all right, I can get you a gym membership. There you go.
See you later.
See you later. But we follow up with these people and help them with in their journey. And, you know, speaking of physical health, we've seen a young lady who had pre-diabetes come into it, and we gave her some guidance along with her medical doctor of what to do, and we kind of encouraged her along the way, and now all her labs are normal and she's not diabetic anymore. So those are like little things that are really, that's a big thing. Is really impacting her and her children's lives.
You know, and I think that things like that, it's the encouragement that's as important as anything. She's got to have the will to want to do it. But a lot of us make resolutions on January 1st that are gone by January 15th. But if somebody's encouraging you along the way, and that's a big part of what you do, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
And that doesn't seem like a very hard part of, you know, when I'm thinking about, you know, other folks who are considering ministry, encouraging your folks sounds like a pretty good way to start.
Yeah, absolutely.
And not complicated.
Absolutely. You know, who wants to come to work and be discouraged about being there? So, you know, it's a wonderful culture, and we're able to encourage people wherever they are in life, you know, wherever they're going. We're able to encourage them along the way.
Yeah. So as you've developed this program over the years, has there been any pushback from any employees? Anybody has a problem with it?
No, I think, you know, believers and non-believers, I think everybody pretty much respects it and finds great value in it.
Yeah.
Talk to people across the board. They really enjoy it. We're always growing in whatever we do. So we evaluate what we do and allow others to evaluate us too. So we look at that and we grow from that as well.
That's right. It's not we got it fixed, we're done.
Oh yeah. No.
Yeah. And any missteps you made along the way? Anything that you like, wow, I wish we hadn't have done that, or we should have done that differently, or, and it's in terms of helping other C12 members think, well, maybe we should avoid that area, or.
Yeah, I can't think of any missteps really, but I think it's a reflection of what we do is really a reflection of what we do in our private time too. So the time I spend with the Lord, the time I spend in prayer, the time I spend in praise. I think, as a group and individually, I think that's really seen outside in our ministry too. So you gotta be sure that that's what you're doing as well.
Well, I've talked with other C12 members about their ministry, and I asked them how that got started, and in every case so far, it's been we started with prayer. Yeah. And I think it's what you're saying is that you're going to generate the fruit that based on what you do, your input is going to generate the output that the Lord wants.
Yeah, well, the Lord wants. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Anything else you want to share? I feel like I haven't asked all the questions, but
No, I mean it's amazing to be part of the company and part of C12 as well. I've learned a lot just being a part of it today, but it's very encouraging to see companies out there. We're a software development company that has Christian values and a ministry team in there. So it's very encouraging to hear.
Yeah, I heard today that we're not a Christian company. We're a company that's led by Christians, by people who are Christians.
Yeah,
the company can't be Christian. I have to remember to say that right from now on. So thanks for joining us today. I hope you learned something of value. And if you have questions, I'd say feed them to your C12 chair, and we'll make sure to incorporate them in the next podcast that we do on your ministry and C12 and your business. Thanks again for joining us. And Jim, thank you so much for being here. Been a pleasure, and I wish you continued success. You guys are doing great. Thank you.